Hi, my name is Julianne Cartano and I am a communications major at Kaplan University. I was going to present for you today a persuasive argument against current but outgoing New York City Mayor Michael Bloomberg's proposed ban on larger than 64-ounce sodas. I even made a prop. And it's awesome. But something has recently come to my attention that scares me even more than having to buy a 12-ounce soda. It scares me because I am a homeschooling parent. I also go to school online, and I am a vociferous advocate for online education and home education being viable and protected options for parents that choose that as what's best for their children. I don't think the state should interfere to the extent that it has. Recently, a state senator in Ohio named Capri Cafano, a Democrat, has proposed House Bill 248, which flies in the face of Constitution, it flies in the face of parental rights, and it flies in the face of everything that I consider sacred about our country, which is freedom. Basically, the bill is very long. It can be viewed online. However, to synopsize, the bill would require any family that wants to homeschool one or more of the children in the home to go through an extensive interrogation with a social service agent worker, and the worker would decide whether or not they would approve the family homeschooling or not. The worker would not be trained in education, would not be a teacher, would base this solely on arbitrary standards. This is giving way too much power to agencies that already have too much power. The justification for the bill, and the reason why the bill is being called Teddy's Law, is because a child by the name of Teddy Tedesco in Youngstown, Ohio, was killed by his mother's boyfriend, who is now in jail. And the death occurred shortly after the parent took the child out of school and decided to homeschool them. It's terribly tragic. If anything like that could be prevented, of course we would want to prevent it. But this bill seeks to take away the rights of all people and assume that anyone that wishes to homeschool their child is a potential child abuser. And I think I personally find that offensive, and I think any thinking person would find that offensive as well. It's not interrogating children who go to public school and their parents, and statistically, those parents are just as likely to abuse their children. The fact is, the child was killed by his mother's boyfriend, and unfortunately, in a lot of cases, the mother's boyfriend is often the perpetrator against abuse of all kinds. This is a very serious social problem. But I noticed that Senator Cafano is not going after that aspect of the situation. Rather, she's concentrating on the homeschooling aspect, as if homeschooling in and of itself, when she's including e-schooling, is somehow indicative of abuse or potential abuse. And statistically, that's not substantiated. In reality, it's not substantiated either. So what I've done is I've written to the senator and I've written to the co-sponsors of the bill, and I've also contacted the senator on her Facebook page. And really, I'm just a nobody. I mean, I don't have a degree yet. I don't have a professional position. But as an American, sometimes we don't know, hey, we have a right to speak up and to stand up for things that we believe in and to disagree with things with which we find offensive. So I would encourage anyone to speak up about this bill and to get involved in your local politics and your state politics and find out ways that you can have your voice be heard, even if it's just a post on their Facebook page. Go to the top. Just discussing it amongst yourselves is not going to make change happen. People in power, they have a little bit and they tend to take a lot. And this bill in particular has woken me up to the point where I completely scrapped my original idea to talk about the soda ban, because that is one aspect that is important, but your basic rights are way more important than what you can and can't drink. The problem is it starts with a can of soda, and the next thing you know, I realize it's a slippery slope, but the next thing you know, the government is telling you who you can and can't marry, where you can live, how many kids you can have. We've seen this happen in China. I don't want it to happen here. So when I see something like this, I'm going to speak up and I'm going to say something, and thank you for listening to me. Have a good day.